Imagine opening an app where you could buy a smartwatch for $3, or a wedding dress for under 50 Rand, or earbuds that looked exactly like AirPods, for 95% less. It sounded like a dream, and for a while, it was. Welcome to Wish.com, the app that once ranked above Amazon in downloads, hit a valuation of $14 billion, and became the face of ultra-cheap online shopping. It was bold, chaotic, and addictive. It promised everything, and delivered something. Not always what you expected, but then, it faded. Fast. Today, we're looking at how one of the most talked about e-commerce platforms in internet history lost its relevance, its users, and billions of dollars in value, almost overnight. This is the story of Wish.com, from meme to meltdown. Let's rewind the clock. Wish.com was founded in 2010 by a former Google engineer named Peter Solchevsky. He wasn't trying to build another Amazon. In fact, he hated how Amazon worked. Amazon was, and still is, optimized for convenience. You search for an item, filter by Prime, get it in a day or two. It's a utility. Wish was something else entirely. It wasn't about searching for what you wanted. It was about discovering things you didn't know you wanted. And that was the magic. The app opened with a chaotic feed of items. The prices were outrageously low. A bra for 89 cents, a knife set for $1, a PlayStation controller for $4. You never searched, you scrolled. It was addictive, like TikTok, but for shopping. The algorithm learned what you clicked on, what you bought, and kept showing you stranger, more specific products. Soon it felt like the app knew you. But Wish didn't stock these items themselves. It was a marketplace, mostly Chinese manufacturers selling directly to consumers worldwide, with almost no middleman. That meant cheap prices. Very cheap. Shipping took weeks, sometimes months. But for most users, it didn't matter. It was a gamble. You paid pocket change, waited, and hoped it arrived. The app exploded. It wasn't just popular, it was top 10 on app stores in over 40 countries. At its peak, Wish had over 90 million monthly active users, and the company itself was valued at $14 billion. It was the face of a new kind of e-commerce, chaotic, meme-worthy, and ultra-accessible. The kind of shopping where people didn't care about quality, just novelty. But as Wish grew, cracks started to show. And fast forward to today, people barely mention it. Let's break down what happened. First, there was the problem of expectation versus reality. If you've ever ordered from Wish, you probably already know. The product photos looked fantastic. The prices? Too good to be true. And usually were. What you received often looked nothing like the ad. Sometimes it was smaller, sometimes it was fake, sometimes it was just plain broken. There were entire YouTube channels, subreddits, and BuzzFeed articles dedicated to Wish fails. People ordered rugs that turned out to be the size of a dinner plate, clothing that could fit a doll, electronics that sparked or didn't work at all. For a while, this chaos was the appeal. People ordered just to see what they'd get. It was funny. It was viral. But after the laughs faded, the trust was gone. And e-commerce without trust, that's a death sentence. Next, shipping. People were, willing to wait at first, even a month or two. But as other platforms like Shein, AliExpress, and even Amazon expanded into cheap products with faster delivery, Wish just couldn't keep up. You'd order something on Wish and honestly forget it even existed until it showed up. Meanwhile, Amazon offered next-day delivery. Even AliExpress added faster shipping options. Temu appeared with free shipping and these huge discounts. Wish, still slow, still unpredictable, still unreliable. And then came the quality control issues. Wish didn't manufacture anything themselves. Sellers were free to advertise whatever they wanted. And that, led to rampant counterfeits. Fake branded shoes, knockoff tech, health products with no ingredients listed. And unlike Amazon or eBay, there were few guardrails. Sellers weren't vetted thoroughly. Refunds were inconsistent. Customer service was, politely put, a mess. Combine that with shady advertising and you had a growing PR nightmare. Remember those weird Wish ads on Facebook and Instagram? You'd see something like a melted-looking baby doll or a half-naked man in latex or maybe a mystery object that was blurred out. Wish leaned into the shock factor. The ads were bizarre. They got clicks, but they also confused people. The brand became known more for weirdness than value. Instead of trust, they leaned on chaos. And chaos isn't sustainable. Behind the scenes, Wish's parent company, Context Logic Incorporated, was burning cash. In 2020 they went public. It was a massive IPO, nearly $2 billion raised. It should have been the start of a golden era, but the numbers told a different story. Despite having millions of users, they were losing money on almost every order. Customer acquisition was expensive. Many users never returned. Fulfillment costs were high. Refund rates were wild. By late 2021, stock prices were in free fall. In December 2020, Wish stock debuted at $24 per share. By late 2022, it had dropped to under 50 cents, from 24 to pennies. Billions in market value, wiped out. So what went wrong? A lot. But it boils down to 5 brutal truths. 1. You can't build a lasting brand on low expectations. Wish was never the place for quality. It was a gamble. But that means people never trusted it. And trust is everything in e-commerce. 2. Poor logistics kill loyalty. Shipping was slow, tracking was unreliable, returns were painful. That works once, maybe twice. But customers expect consistency, not lottery tickets. 3. Weird doesn't mean sticky. The bizarre ads were funny until they weren't. People shared them, yes. But they didn't create long-term shoppers, just viral moments. 4. Too many fakes. Too little control. When platforms get flooded with counterfeits, scams, and dangerous products, customers walk away. Regulations tighten, lawsuits emerge, and platforms get flagged. 5. The competition leveled up. While Wish stuck to the same chaotic model, others evolved. Shein scaled globally with trend-based fashion. Temu hit the market with aggressive pricing and better shipping. Even Amazon began listing $1 to $5 products with local fulfillment. Wish didn't adapt. But here's the real kicker. Wish didn't just lose customers, it lost interest. People didn't boycott Wish, they just moved on. No dramatic cancellation, no protest, just apathy. That's the worst kind of failure. Not outrage, not lawsuits, just being forgotten. Today Wish still exists, the app is still live, you can still buy things. The company has rebranded, reshuffled leadership, and attempted comebacks. But the magic? Gone. The chaos? Outdated. In 2023, Context Logic, Wish's parent company, was officially delisted from the NASDAQ for failing to meet minimum requirements. That's how far it fell. From a $14 billion valuation to delisted. And now, a question. Was this inevitable? Maybe, because Wish wasn't just a shopping app, it was a product of a time, a moment when we were obsessed with instant gratification, novelty, and meme culture. We didn't mind waiting a month for a "what the hell is this product?" We thought it was funny, we shared it, we laughed. But times changed, the bar went up and Wish didn't change with it. Now we expect fast shipping, decent quality, some level of trust. Wish was built for the scroll, not the sale. And once people stopped scrolling, it faded. In the end, Wish wasn't destroyed by competition or controversy, it was destroyed by evolution. We grew out of it. What started as a wild e-commerce experiment turned into a cautionary tale. You can get people to click, but can you get them to come back? Wish couldn't. So the next time you see an ad promising a Rolex for 100 Rand or a 60-inch TV for 3 Rand, remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably Wish. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What was the weirdest thing you ever saw on Wish? And remember, in a world full of hype, stay curious and stay smart.